Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Tia here. If you are new, please like and subscribe. But for today's video, this is going to be like a quick, not really quick, makeup and yap type of video because I haven't done my makeup in a while. I haven't filmed makeup videos in a while, yada yada yada. So I got some new products from Ulta that I haven't tried yet. So this video is gonna be me trying all my new stuff. So first, I got the new Fenty Beauty. I think this is the hydrating plumping primer. I only got this because it looks really cool. Also, not too much on my nails. I tried to take the damn dip gel off or whatever the fuck you call it. Anyways, new hydrating primer. I was like, let's give it a go, because me personally, the primer that I mainly use is the Power Grip primer by e.l.f. We know this is #1. And then I also use my Tatcha primer. This shit was like $50-$60 and I barely use that. I only use that for like special events or whatever. But anyways, let's give it a go. Ooh, it's purple. And this is the foundation brush by Fenty as well. I've been using this one as a primer brush, and then I recently got this new one as a new foundation brush because I've usually used like beauty blenders to put on makeup, but you know, I've been using brushes recently and I feel like they've low-key been working better. And yes, I know my skin is crazy. I have a lot of dark spots. I've had dark spots since I was like 12. Can't get rid of them. I'm pretty sure it's like stress related, and yes, I've been stressed out since I was 12. But anyways, foundation does feel like hydrating, not really mattifying. And usually I use like a matte primer, matte foundation, matte, you know, I use matte everything because throughout the day sometimes I do get a little bit oily in my T-zone or whatever. But anyways, I'm gonna show y'all the foundation I use. Is usually Estee Lauder Double Wear in the shade 5N1, and then I got 5N1.5 for summertime. So I literally have like 3 bottles of this right now. I have another one on hand ready to go, but recently I've been trying to use like different foundations because I feel like since my skin tone is like not light skin and not dark skin, it's hard for me to find a shade that is not really orange, because you know, foundation is made for white people with tans or whatever. So basically the foundation I've been trying is the House Labs foundation by Lady Gaga in the shade A415 medium deep cool. And I feel like I really like the bottle of this. And tell me why, when I first started using it, I was unscrewing it, and then the top of it was like completely unscrewed, and I was like, what kind of design is this? Whole time all I had to do was lift up and it has a pump. So that was me being stupid. And then I also got this Fenty Beauty Soft Matte Foundation because it was on sale for like $12 on the website, I guess, because everything on there was like half off. So this is in shade 385, and I feel like this one has been a better match for me so far, but it's not really giving like matte. Like, I guess it says like soft matte, but I like my stuff extra matte. Okay, so now, should I do my eyes first? I feel like that's like a big debate. Like, do you do your eyes first or do you do your face first? Let me start with eyes because I haven't really done like eyeshadow in a long time. I mostly just be throwing on like a glitter shadow and I go, and that's probably what I'm about to do today. So this is the Hourglass concealer in the shade Flax. This is my like main concealer I use. I don't really know how to like do cut creases and shit, like even though I used to use I did learn makeup in 2016 and whatnot, but I don't know how to do that shit. I pretty much just use this to carve out my brows a little bit. And my brows, for the most part, I've been shaving them down, bro. Like, ever since my ex was a psychopath and like I was going through some shit, I was like, let me pop out with a new look. And I think that was like 3 years ago, but ever since then I shaved my brows really thin. And I feel like thin brows kind of give like a more like high fashion type look, low-key, and like my forehead is like hella big, right? So I used to have like these thick ass brows, and I feel like they just never fit my face. So I was like, oh wait, I have free will, I could just shave my eyebrows. So that's what I've been doing ever since, because my real eyebrows are like really thick. And for my eyebrows, I use this brow pencil, Bushy Brow by Lime Crime. I got it from JCPenney when I used to work there, and I was looking at all the random makeup products and whatnot. But like I said, I'm not an expert at makeup. I don't know what I'm doing half the time. And I feel like now that I'm like 27, I'm just now figuring out like what products work best for my skin, and like what routine works best for me, and yada yada yada, because a whole bunch of people be telling me like, oh, you should be a makeup artist, you should do my makeup, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, why do people be asking me to do stuff for them when I'm not a professional? And that's the same thing, like ever since I learned how to do my own hair. I learned how to do it in 2018, 2020, I think, when I was in college. And I went to a white college, so I was like, damn, I need to learn how to braid my hair. I learned how to do it off of YouTube, and then since then people just been like, can you braid my hair, can you do this, can you do, no, sorry. And then come to find out, like, I've been braiding my hair for the past like 5 years now, and I low-key have arthritis now from it. Like my fingers been cramping up. I can't even like bend my pinky or like do things a certain way anymore. And I feel like when I get older, it's like slowly gonna get worse. But I don't know, who knows if I'm gonna live that long anyways, because the state of the world right now is a fucking mess. Okay, but anyways, I kind of just put like a quick layer of, this video is gonna be hella long, you don't have to watch all this. Kind of put a quick layer of concealer, and then like I've learned how to do some makeup like styles and whatnot, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out how to do winged liner without using tape. So like when you see me doing the tape, that's when I'm like, I need liner, I need like some kind of eyeshadow, whatever. Like I just can't figure it out. And what color liner should I do? I low-key need to practice my Halloween makeup because for Queen of Hearts and whatnot, but we will just do black. Black is the safest option. But yeah, for the life of me, I just can't figure out how to do winged liner. I feel like my hands aren't steady enough for that as well. And the makeup palette I use is Juvia's Place in the Rebel Honey. It basically just has like a whole bunch of like neutral shades in there, and then the gold as well. So I just go in with this darker shade right now. And I've never really like learned how to do eyeshadow either. In 2016, I used to do like crazy eyeshadow looks. Back in the day, them high school days, and like 2016 was my senior year too. So like, you know, that shit was jumping back then. But I don't be doing nothing fancy. I just need it for like my edges, give me like a defined crease right there or whatnot. And then they, like in all the videos I see, they'd be like, oh, you need to buff out the edges and do this, and you should be blending for 20 minutes. But nobody got time to do that shit, bro. Like, I throw that shit in the crease, call it a day, like, you know. And then let me put I also have this other Fenty Beauty palette, my most prized possession. Not really, but I'm pretty sure she discontinued like a lot of the eyeshadow palettes. But I got these like when the collection first came out, which is like literally 2016. So these are probably all expired. But I'm not gonna throw them away, because who does that, you know? And like these have an insane color payout, and a lot of people, they buy like different brands and like the single eyeshadow packs and whatnot, but I be sticking to my old palettes. I feel like the old palettes are low-key better than like all the new stuff I've bought. Like nothing is really super pigmented these days because the clean girl makeup is in and yada yada yada. But anyways, like I was saying, for Queen of Hearts, my costume, like I don't even know how I decided that costume for real, because I was low-key gonna be Poison Ivy, because I remember I had like a whole lot of stuff saved in my Shein cart for Poison Ivy and Raven and who else was it? Somebody else. I had like 3 costumes that I've been trying to do since 2016, and now that I actually be going outside, I was like, oh, okay. But then like I wanted to do something like cutesy this year too, and then I saw like all these corset costumes, and I know people be saying like corset costumes are basic and like whatever, and it's like you didn't really try and whatnot, but I don't know. I feel like I like corsets and they give you like the cinched look, and I really don't care if people think my costume is basic, because end of the day, it's Halloween. Some people say like it should be scary, but I'm like, does it though? I feel like Halloween was never extremely scary like that, you know? But I'm getting everything together for my Halloween costume, and then it's really like weird gaining weight like really fast over like a short period of time, because I've been an extra small my whole life, and now I'm like a size medium, almost a large, but I feel like it's mostly because of my stupid bloating issues that I be having. Probably dying internally, but I don't care. Nobody tells you how traumatizing it is gaining weight that fast. Because I feel like we see like a whole bunch of videos of people like losing weight, but not necessarily like gaining weight, you know? Let's call it a day on that. I'm done. I've gained like 30 pounds in the past couple months, so it's weird. I'm here like buying a whole new wardrobe and whatnot, but you gotta do what you gotta do. And obviously like I didn't think I was gonna be the same size from high school like as like for forever, but I was just like, damn, like, you know. And now that I'm big, I'm like, oh, I miss being skinny, oh my gosh, you know, like it's kind of a weird thing to go through. But anyways, foundation, like, do you see, how am I supposed to cover these up? I really don't be covering up like my zits and dark spots, because I know people be like color correcting and whatnot, but I'm like, for me, I feel like it doesn't really make a difference. I feel like my hyperpigmentation and my acne scars show through regardless, you know? So like sometimes, especially when I'm getting ready for work and I'm in a rush, I don't be trying to cover that shit up, bro. I just be leaving it there, because I'm like, it's like I might as well just put this shit on my whole damn face, you know? And I also had like a little mini fan that I was supposed to use while I'm like getting ready for my makeup and everything, but I don't be charging it, so it's just sitting here dead in my drawer. Okay, so put on this little concealer, cover my dark spots, whatever. This is hella, it looks orange, but trust me, this is finally one that matches me better than anything I've used in the past. And another life update is that I have been applying to be a teacher's assistant in the public school system, and I haven't always wanted to be a teacher, because what's funny is that most of my life I literally said that I hated kids and I didn't want anything to do with them and all that stuff, right? But that looks like the life track that I'm on right now is just working with kids somewhere, probably because I don't even think I can have my own kids. But I don't know if I want to do that anymore, because I have like bad anxiety, and I feel like now how there's like all these school shootings and whatnot happening, that's like my biggest fear, is that I'm gonna have to be sacrificing my life for these kids, you know, when I got my own damn family. And I'm like, damn, like teachers shouldn't have to put their life on the line for kids like this. Like, we should be worried about school and like learning things, not school shootings and everything. And then I hear all these parents talking about like, oh, I just bought like this bulletproof thing for my kid's backpack and yada, it's not safe anymore. So part of me, I feel like I don't need to be looking at those types of jobs, but other than that, it's like, what can I do for real? Because like, I don't know, I'm not really interested in anything else. I do have like a lot of hobbies, but at the same time, like, I don't necessarily want to turn my hobbies into a job, because then I feel like I'm gonna hate my hobbies, because I hate working in general. Like, I don't just hate my job, I hate working, you know? So I don't want to turn my hobbies into a job, because then I'm gonna hate that too. So realistically, I'm like thinking about going back into retail, but then I'm like, I don't know, because I hated retail too. I hated working at Rite Aid, JCPenney, Aldi. Like, I don't know, I just hate working. So I'm kind of like, I'm not necessarily like worried, because I know end of the day I'm gonna like figure it out, like I always do, unfortunately. Unfortunately, whatever. But I'm like, damn, like, what do I even do now? So I'm kind of like on the track where I'm like lost in the sauce and whatever. And you know how people always like to ask you like, oh, where do you plan to see yourself in 5 years? What are you gonna do if you don't get this job? When are you gonna move out of your parents' house? When are you gonna do that? You know, like, people always will ask you these questions, and I feel like you shouldn't stress about it, you know? And that's even the same thing like when you get denied from jobs or whatever, because I've been denied, I've been fired, I've been through everything, right? So when you get denied from these jobs, I would see that as a blessing too, because I remember applying to a job and I'm like, oh yeah, I just need a job like really bad, and you know, I can't pay my bills and all this shit, and then they deny me. But end of the day, like, I found a better job, you know? So it's like half the time I just be applying to jobs and I don't know like what I'm doing, or if I really want this job or whatever, or it might just be like a passerby job where I'm just like, I just need something to pay the bills, right? But I'm the type of person where I can't just be working at any type of job. I need to actually like what I'm doing. I need to enjoy my like work commute and like the coworkers and the management. Like, I need to enjoy everything, or else I'm gonna quit that fucking job, right? And I remember like the job that I'm at right now, I work with kids, right? And I remember I started looking for jobs like the second week in, and it's not even about the kids and how I hate it there. Well, now I hate it even more, but in the first 2 weeks, like, they made me fill out my insurance papers. Like, you know, when you're getting a new job, you fill out like health insurance, all this other medical stuff, and I put my whole like address on there, as you do. I put my social security number on there, because they don't do things online or whatever, I guess. So everything was paperwork. So I remember like she handed me a huge stack and she was like, fill this out, and I basically filled it out like at home. I was asking my parents questions like, what is this, how much do I put the percentage and blah blah, right? And then I handed her the packet back, and then I think it was like a week later, she was like, oh, I lost your packet, I need you to do it again for me. And I was like, you lost the packet with my social security number on it? The fuck? You know? So ever since then, I knew that this place was gonna be extremely organized, or just how it's ran seems unorganized. And then like during one of the work meetings, she was like, oh yeah, I forget everything within like 2 hours, so that's why you always see me writing stuff down. So if you want something done, make sure you see me write it down, so that way I can take care of it. But I'm like, you're the boss, you're getting paid 3 times as much as me to take care of like everything else, and you want me to remind you to do something that I told you about, you know? So like stuff like that gets me more irritated than the actual job. And it sucks, because sometimes the job is amazing, right? Like, imagine you work at a good place, like the kids are good, you love your coworkers, they're all like young people, and like you can laugh all day, whatever, right? But then the only thing that sucks is the management. And now you're in the space where you're like, damn, I love this job, but now I gotta quit because you hate management, right? Or it could be the opposite, where the job is fucking tiring as hell, but management is actually good. And it's rare to find good management. And then it's rare to even find both good management and good job, right? So now Like, there's like so many things that go into finding like a decent job, but I'm at the point where obviously like it looks bad on your resume to be switching jobs every 5 seconds, or like, you know, less than a year or whatever. But I feel like I've never really cared about what people think that's on my resume, because end of the day, if I was an employer, I would rather see somebody with like a whole bunch of talents on there rather than somebody who just stuck at like one job forever. Like, you want to be a cashier for 10 years, you know, you're not like branching out, you're not trying new things, you didn't get a promotion, like, you know. So I really personally don't care what employers like say about my profiles and like whatever, because end of the day, like, this life is for me. I'm not living it for an employer and whatnot, so I don't care. But I feel like right now I'm in the mindset where I'm just like going with the flow. I'm like applying to new jobs every day. And then I just saw something on Instagram how it said like 30,000 Black women across the United States are unemployed right now. And I'm like, damn, like that shit is insane, bro. Like I'm about to be one of them, but not really. But I don't know, it just sucks how the way our country is going and life is falling apart and whatnot. I haven't really been focusing on men recently, and I feel like it's been like kind of amazing for me, because the whole early part of my life I was really like male centered, and I was worried about marriage and kids rather than worrying about my own future, and that's why I'm struggling with my future in my late 20s. But I haven't really talked to any men recently, and it's been amazing, you know. And recently I got into a I think January was a situationship. It still feels like yesterday, because why was the situationship low-key worse than my 3-year toxic relationship? I don't know. But recently I was talking to this one guy, and I'm probably gonna have to make a whole separate video about this because it is a weird story. But it was the first time I've been introduced to somebody by somebody else. Like, you know how like there's always those stories how somebody's like, oh, I'm gonna set you up with my friend, like you guys would be good together, right? So I was basically like set up, and then I didn't even meet this guy in person. We pretty much just been like chatting on Instagram or whatever. Long story short, he couldn't pay his like lease or whatever, so he's like being evicted from his apartment or whatever, because I guess he just can't afford it anymore. Like, they raised it, and you know, he just doesn't make enough money to cover the rent. I don't know the exact details of it for real, because I don't know anything about that shit. But yeah, turns out he's like moving away, and he has to like move to a different state to like basically like go live with at his grandparents' house. I don't know, some shit like that. And it's funny because for the first time in my life, I feel like I didn't really care that much, and it's probably bad for me to say because he does seem like a cool guy. Maybe we would have ended up together in another lifetime, whatever, right? But end of the day, he wasn't really my type for real, and I met him through like a setup situation, which was weird. And I don't know, I just didn't really have any emotion in it for real, and I found like that was really weird, because usually I'm one of those people, I fall in love in like 2 days, and I'm like, oh, this guy is my husband, oh my gosh, like it would be so amazing if this girl set me up with him, and then I'm best friends with the girl, and she can introduce me to her friends. Now I have a whole new friend group, you know. So usually I would be like that, but the whole time I just didn't really care. And I guess I do feel a little bit bad for him that he has to like move away now and basically leave his whole old life behind and whatnot. But end of the day, I'm like, damn, I didn't even meet this guy. We've only been texting for like 3 weeks, you know. And he never talked about planning a date, clearly because he was in a financial situation, whatever. He probably knew this was gonna end up happening. But I'm like, I don't know. It was a weird situation. I need to make another story time about it. So if you want to watch that video, go to my YouTube channel. But I don't know, like love life, dating in general right now is just a mess. And the way I can't do my lip liner when I'm talking. Hold up. By the way, this is the Fenty Beauty lip liner in the shade Traced Out. I have like 4 of these right now. This is my new favorite lip liner. It does last 24 hours like they advertise it to be. Love life, I've been like, I have like Hinge and whatnot because I don't leave my house. So I'm like, how am I supposed to meet people? Yada, yada, yada. And obviously, like, everybody knows dating apps are fucking terrible. Men on there are weird, but end of the day, I feel like men are weird and liars in real life. So it's like no difference to me for real. But Hinge has not even been going good for real. And like, I feel like men are low-key starting to catfish like more than women do, because obviously, like, you know, women be putting like their best selfies up there and like pictures of their body and whatever for the, like, everything for the male gaze pretty much. But like, men pretty much be doing the same thing to women. But as I've been on there for years now, I feel like men be catfishing more and more. And the amount of men that I've met who have lied about their height is insane to me, because I feel like I would prefer like a short man who's honest and like you're like genuinely confident being like 5'8", 5'9", 5'10", whatever. I feel like I would rather have a guy be honest about that than be like lie on your profile and say you're like 5'11", but then you're really 5'8". Because end of the day, I'm gonna know determined like on how high I have to tilt my head up, because I'm only 5'2", you know. But a lot of men have been lying about their height. A lot of men have been lying about like how much money they have, I guess, because obviously like men basically base their things on looks, and then women go after money. It's a flawed system, obviously. So I feel like men feel the need like they have to flex money. But in my mind, I'm like, there's no point in flexing money if you can't constantly give it out. Like, if you advertise yourself as a wallet, you should be able to give me money when I ask for it, right? But if I'm not a gold digger or anything like that, because end of the day, these men don't be having no gold to dig. But it's like, I remember I talked to this one guy. I met him. He drove like a fancy car. He was wearing designer. He put me on an expensive dinner date and whatnot. And it's not like I was expecting like gifts and like to be spoiled and whatnot. But in my mind, I'm thinking like, oh, finally, like a man who at least got some shit going for himself, because I've just been dating losers pretty much. So, he basically like showed me around his place and whatnot, and I was like, oh, okay, he got it together. And next thing you know, when it comes to going out on like a second date or third date, now all of a sudden he don't want to go to a restaurant. He wants to go to like Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, stuff like that. And then like the next day he's wearing like a hoodie, sweatpants. And I'm not saying you gotta wear designer every day, obviously, because that's impractical, but he basically was like telling me about all of these like business things, and he was like investments and whatnot, and you're basically setting it up for yourself, saying that, you know, you're gonna be a millionaire and you got all this money. And then next thing you know, he starts like lying about things too, because the next day he shows up with like a different car. I think he said it was his mom's car. He's like, oh yeah, my car is in the shop right now, blah blah blah. Whole time, like, you know, a month later I find out that he actually rented the fancy car that he took me on the first date with, right? And he was borrowing money from his friend to take me on that first date. And then like the designer clothes were his brother's that he like stole from his closet, you know. So it's like stuff like that. Like, men be just selling you the dream, right? Because they think that women want all these expensive things. Whole time, if he would have just been straight up and would have been like, oh yeah, you know, like, I don't got enough money for like fancy restaurants right now, but like eventually when I get my money up, we could do that shit, and we could do this, and you know, like, if he would have at least like had a plan set up in order, or like just like something like that, I feel like that's way better than just lying and pretending to be something you're not, right? So I'm over here basically on Hinge meeting all these like types of guys like that. Like, a lot of them act the same way, they look the same way, right? They're mostly narcissists, but end of the day, that's all men. So yeah, dating scene has been trash. So I find it better for me to like enjoy my own company. And for my birthday, I bought myself like a laptop I've always wanted. I bought the camera I've always wanted. I'm getting my shit together. Like, you know. So it's better for me to distract myself with stuff that I enjoy doing, like how I'm doing my makeup for fun right now. Better to do that than to be in a man's face and expecting something that you're never going to get. Lip combo I'm doing is NYX in the shade Lava Cake, and then I have like 20 millions of these, and I would never really know like what shades to do, and then I got like 20 million Fenty Beauty glosses. But I think my favorite out of all of these, this is almost empty, shit. This is, I guess this is my favorite. This one is in the shade Praline, dark mauve color. It's basically the same exact color as my lips. I guess that's why I like it so much. And then I'm like really weird, like I never knew that like lip combos, technically you're supposed to do the lip liner all the way around, and then you're supposed to blend that out and then put like the dark one all on the edges and then the light one all over, you know. I never like learned the correct way to apply lip gloss, sorry. Pretty much just put like the Lava Cake on my top lip and then the other one on my bottom lip, because end of the day it's gonna wear off in 2 seconds. I feel like my lips be so big, they fucking absorbs the lip gloss hella fast throughout the day, but then the lip liner is made to last 24 hours, so it just sticks there, you know. This is the gloss I tend to put over my lip combos. This is the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Oil in the shade Super Fine Sugar, and I like these new applicators that she had because the old ones, let me see my old one. The old ones look like this, like the typical like doe foot applicator. And for some reason, some of the lip glosses be leaking. And I don't know if it's like the new batch or whatever. But anyways, this applicator is like kind of like, it's like a flat doe foot. Like a doe foot, but like flattened out. And this, it fits better like on the curvature on my lips. But this in the bottle, it's giving like silver sparkle. But in person is more so of a, you see that? It's like a gold sparkle. And that is my basic lip combo. Let me bring the light down so y'all can see. Yeah, oh, and I totally forgot that I gotta do my damn lashes. So recently for lashes, I do want to start learning how to do individual lashes, because I have a whole bunch that I got from TikTok shop, right? Because a lot of the times TikTok will send me stuff and I gotta try it out, do a review, yada yada. And some of the products I keep, some of them I instantly throw away, right? So basically these are hella old. I've had these in my drawer forever. These are from Dollar Tree, the little Ione faux minx lashes. These are like the best ones I found from Dollar Tree. And then I also got like this big thing from Shein, all the different sizes, like from 9 to 16 or whatever. I don't like doing the lash maps and stuff. I don't know. And I feel like I haven't really done that because my eyes are kind of like lopsided. I don't know if anybody else has these kind of eyes, but I feel like my eyes aren't like even, and like my whole side of my face is like, you know. But anyways, I typically use strip lashes, right? So I've been doing this new thing. Y'all have seen me post with my blue lashes. I posted a couple pictures and videos with them or whatever, and I feel like that's gonna be my new thing, because I'm a colorful person and I'm trying to keep this hair in, because I did my hair for like $150, right? I'm trying to keep it in as long as possible, basically until Halloween. So I'm about to do like a little hair refresh video. Stay tuned for that. But these lashes, I've been trying to like incorporate color in them, like since I can't put color in my hair right now. I've been trying to add color to the lashes. So I basically bought these colorful individuals from Shein, and then I basically glue them on top of these. Like I leave them in the pack just like this, and then I will take these with tweezers, a little bit of lash glue. Technically I use this hair glue from the hair store, and then I glue them on the ends of this, and then it turns out like this. Like I put blue and purple on there, and I feel like blue is like my color. Like they've like looked so amazing. I want to put them on every fucking day, but it's technically meant for like a dramatic type look, right? So I did it with these right here. I did green on these, and then I did orange, yellow, and green on these, right? And then I was like, let me see if Shein sells these already made. So I did look it up, and Shein does already make these types of lashes with the color already in them. They have ones with like glitter already in them and like little heart shapes and shit. I'm like, damn, okay, I'll have to get some of those for Halloween. But I just like doing it myself. I am a very DIY type of person. So for this look, I already did like this like purpley champagne type of eyeshadow. So I'm gonna just put on the blue and purple lashes. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I already did so many looks with them, but I just can't. They are my favorite. I'm spending hella money on literally everything I own, you know? So if you want like makeup recommendations, or like you want to know which of these I should try, which of these I should try, which ones are the best lip glosses, foundations, leave comments, because I know the answers to everything, because I have bought everything at least once. Like, I'm not joking. I've probably bought the whole store of Ulta. I've probably spent $10,000 in the past 10 years of my life solely on makeup, and I know that's not a flex, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to try and find out your style and whatnot. Also, tell me why I forgot to, I'm like, this is why I can't record makeup videos, because I be forgetting to do things in the order that I'm supposed to do things, because I'm here forgetting. Like, you see me, my eyes are creasing over and over again because I didn't set my fucking face. So to set my face, I just use this little triangle sponge. I'm not really doing it to like make it last because I'm not going anywhere, so this is just gonna be really quick. But I use the Maybelline Fit Me powder in the shade 310, and apparently you're just supposed to use like a pressed powder first to like press your creases in there, press the concealer into your skin, let it all melt together and whatnot. Because like I said, I don't really like, I'm still working on my routine, okay? And then I use the fuck is this, Wet n Wild Photo Focus loose setting powder, and then I just put a little bit of that on top. And my eyes do crease throughout the night, especially like on a night out and whatnot, but I've been trying to find like, you know, powders and concealers that don't crease and yada yada yada, but I basically just come to terms with it that I have a lot of eye creases, and especially like with aging, it's only gonna get worse. And even with like skincare and the right products and whatnot, I feel like eye creases don't necessarily go away, especially when you like smile a lot sometimes, because when you smile, like your smile lines are right here, and then as you get older, like your cheeks are gonna sag and these lines are gonna get deeper and wider. So it's like, I've just stopped trying to prevent aging, because I guess at the end of the day, it is a good thing that you are able to age. So at the end of the day, I've spent like so much money trying to get rid of my eye creases or eye bags and whatnot, but it's like whatever at this point. I'm done trying. I'm just gonna leave them there, you know. So if I start creasing throughout the night at the club, you see me sweating, you see my face sagging, that's just life, okay? What I say, I was gonna put on my blue lashes, and this is hair glue that I got from the hair store, because I've been trying to find, actually, do I have lash glue? I could have sworn I just bought some. I could have sworn I just bought some from Ulta. Lash glue, see? I usually buy these little thingies, but I have found that this lash glue, no matter what brand I buy, no matter if it's like the white glue or the black glue, I feel like it just doesn't last. And throughout the night, or even like 2 hours later, I think like my inner corners, they start peeling off and they get all crusty, and it just doesn't last. I'm doing it now because, like I said, I'm not going anywhere for real, but on a daily, I use the little black glue, and I low-key just dip the white brush into the hair glue. But the hair glue definitely makes it stick all night. But this little white glue, it's like I keep buying it because I have like hopes that different brands are gonna work better. But maybe I just need to come to terms with like these little things just don't work. I don't know. This mascara is the Fenty Beauty Hella Thick Volumizing Mascara in the shade Black. And this one has been my fave. Is it this one my fave? I think I threw the other one away. There's another Fenty one that's in a silver container, and I think that one's my favorite. This one is my second favorite because it makes your lashes long. Like, see, like y'all probably can't see it, but it definitely helps make my lashes long. And then I basically put my fake lashes on top, and then it kind of like sticks together because I can't be doing like a whole eyeshadow look and going out bald. And then lashes stick. See, this is what I'm telling you about. They just peel off instantly with that damn white glue, bro. How is the glue dried already? That's what I'm telling you. And like, look at this. I'm using the bottom of my brushes to put on the glue. But I don't know how it dried that fast, bro. Or maybe my hair glue is just old, because I don't be putting on lashes every day for work. But I do want to start doing something like where I want to be more motivated like throughout the day, I guess, because usually I'm kind of like stuck in that cycle where I already hate my job, so now I'm trying to like sleep in because I hate going to work. So it's like I'm trying to sleep in as long as possible, and then I kind of just wake up, bounce out of bed, you know, brush my teeth, put on my clothes, and then I don't even eat breakfast. Then I just like run off to work, and I'm still 10 minutes late to work, right? I'm in that constant cycle. And then I get home, I'm tired, and I just take a shower, eat, and then go lay in my bed and then scroll on TikTok for 5 hours. So I'm trying to get into like a different cycle where I'm like doing something else, like when I come home, or even try and wake up earlier before I go to work. Just try and make the day more enjoyable. So that's what I need to do, because I don't know, to me it's just crazy. Like, we're just born to work for the rest of our lives, you know? And then some people like figure out the system, they become entrepreneurs or create their own business, and then so they can work for themselves and whatnot. But other people are stuck being slaves for the whole lives, either just working fast food or working in customer service. And like, it's just crazy. But you know, all of us can't be millionaires, all of us can't be entrepreneurs, so it sucks. But I'm trying to be one of the people who is not working for the white man, you know, try and work for myself. Put on the lashes. What did I tell you, bro? Like, they automatically just make the look. And like, y'all can't even see it. Hold up. Like, you can't even see it that good. But they just be looking so good. So good, so good, so good. And now for some reason, I leave my blush for last. So the blush I use is the Fenty Beauty Cream Blush in the shade Summertime Wine. This one, I'm gonna show y'all this, even though I'm gonna use my powder blush, but this one looks like this. I feel like all the blushes I use, I don't know what shade is good for my skin tone or not, because I know they have like orangey blushes, pinker ones, purpley ones, whatever. So this is the shade that I be using. I guess it's like dark pink if you want to call it that. And then I pretty much just take one of my cheap brushes that I got from BH Cosmetics in 2016. It probably hasn't been cleaned since then. This is what I do, flatten it out a little bit. And then I really don't know how much to put on because I feel like it disappears within like 2 seconds, even though like I be trying to like layer it on, but throughout the day it just like fades, disappears. I don't know what you're gonna call it, but typically just pile it all on there. I do my nose a lot. That looks like too much. Reverse. And it looks like this. And then I still do highlight. A lot of people don't like highlight because I guess it's like, what's the point of doing matte foundation, matte products, and then just applying highlight over it to make you look shiny again? But I feel like I've always done highlights. So basically I bought like all of these little Fenty highlights. My number one is Trophy Wife. This is the gold one. Barely use that one. And then I have another one. This is my newer one. And then I got the other one with the pink and orange. I kind of like use these as eyeshadows too, but you can use them as like blush. And then I have these. So sometimes I will literally like, since I have like this purple blue eyeshadow already going on, I pretty much just like take the pink one and then just use this as a highlighter. And then it's giving kind of like a space. I call it a space theme when I do these colors. I don't know why, because usually I do like orange eyeshadows, and then like, you know, I use the Trophy Wife as the highlight. Let me show y'all. Like, see, I don't know, I feel like highlight just gives it like a finishing touch. Like it looks like I tried, and now it looks better. And I do need a new, I just realized I need a new like setup so I can like glue this light onto my vanity and keep it here instead of like having it all the way up there. That probably would have been more ideal for this video. Like, look at the lashes, bro. The lashes. But yeah, that was pretty much it for this makeup and yap session. I apologize sincerely that it is so long.